In this video, I'm going to show you how to seal a leaking basement wall from the inside. So we're well into the basement remodel, and we've got, in our last video, we did all of our vertical fire stops. And so I'm getting ready to do my horizontal fire stops and my insulation. Now for my basement, as I mentioned previously, I'm going to be using an XPS foam board insulation. Now it gives me an R10 value because it's 2 inches thick, and it acts as a vapor barrier against the cold concrete, poured concrete foundation walls. Before I throw that on, I want to make sure I don't have any water coming in. So I'm in South Jersey. I just had a couple big rainstorms after I had already taken off the builder's insulation. So I noticed there were a couple spots where I had a little bit of water coming in. Nothing major, but I don't want that stuff coming in over the next 20, 30, or 40 years, however long we own the home, and coming behind that XPS installation, because then it can run under it and then come up, so I just want to deal with that now. The best way, from what I can understand, to seal a foundation wall is to do it from the outside. So what you can do is you can excavate and put like a rubber sealant against the foundation where the crack is, and then backfill that in. That's not terribly convenient for some of these gaps and leaks, mostly because, number one, they're very minor, and a couple of them are in the front of the house, so I'd have to like dig out our flower beds and all that. If it were a major leak, it would be worth it, but for a minor leak, I think I can deal it with this way. And so what I'm going to be using, there's a couple different ways of sealing it from the inside. One method I've seen has been to inject an epoxy solution. So you find your crack and you drill a couple holes on either side of it, and then you inject this epoxy solution that fills it in the gap and hardens, and then seals it from the water from coming in any further. I've seen a couple videos, or at least one video, where someone showed that system had failed, and they fail frequently. My concern with the epoxy would be it's not the same material as the concrete, so it may heat and expand and contract at different rates than, say, the concrete foundation will. So I can see how that over time may loosen and fail and allow water past it. The other method I've seen has been hydraulic cement, and that's where you mix a store-bought hydraulic cement powder with some water, and you shove that and you kind of force it into the gap where the leak is coming from with your hands. That's the method I'm going to be using in this video. Kind of makes a little more sense to me since it's concrete against concrete. The only thing I have to do that's kind of be a challenge is to expand the gap. So you can't just plug hydraulic cement into like a really thin hairline gap. You actually have to open the gap up a little bit with a hammer chisel. So we're going to be doing that in this video and showing you how to use the hydraulic cement to do that. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cleaned out the chiseled crack and brushed it with a stiff bristle brush to clean it out. And what I've gone and done is mixed my hydraulic cement with my hands. That's per the instructions on the Quikrete container. It sets very quickly. So you only they tell you to only mix as much as you can handle in about 2 or 3 minutes in terms of application. The other thing I'm going to do is be wetting down this seam that I'm applying it into. That way, it's the concrete in the wall isn't taking out any of the moisture of the cement. And then I'm just going to pretty much start low and jam it in there. This is really, really messy. So while I'm applying it, I'm trying to both work it in and make sure it's flat. So when I add my insulation boards onto this, it doesn't interfere with how it sits against the wall. So I only got a 2 or 3 feet up the wall, and the hydraulic cement's becoming really difficult to work with at this point. So I'm going to stop there, mix some more, and then try to do the rest of the wall and work quickly. So that's all it took to get this crack filled. I had to do the wall in like 2 batches. So hopefully this will hold and keep any water from running out behind my insulation panels. In our next video, what I'm going to be doing is doing a couple little things to prep the wall for my XPS installation board, and we'll be installing those installation boards along with my horizontal fire blocking. So my horizontal fire blocking is both going to integrate with the XPS installation as well as the framing. So we'll actually be able to start framing out the basement soon, and things will start to move much quicker, hopefully. So if you thought this video was helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.